Hello and welcome back to another live stream in our McLaren series as we are in Japan at Suzuka, heading into some practice on this stream and qualifying. So a bit of a chill stream this one, kicking back, trying to get some good setups and a good qualifying result, while hopefully having some of you jump into the chat and we'll see how we go really. Just sent both the drivers out on their first run, so we'll see how we do. So we're just going to forward on as we always do in this first practice session, looking for the feedback to come in for both drivers. Hopefully be able to nail some early setups as George Russell has a bit of an issue going wide
through the S's
in this first practice session.
And nearly, just running wide.
Picking up a bit of dirt, but nothing to worry about there for George. So as always in our practice sessions, we're looking to get 100% set up as early as we can. Hopefully we have a straightforward session. And we're not bothered about the times that we're setting. As I say, it's all about getting these setups and the driver preparation exactly where you need it to be. As both have fed back now, 3 out of 5. So we're waiting for a couple of bits more of the feedback. Bring them in. See where we're sitting on this first run. So hopefully they're now going to come in here with this last bit of feedback.
How's the balance?
It's all good. It's a cool car to drive.
I understand.
So Norris has got great setup satisfaction already. So on our first run, wow, this is, pretty good for us, to be fair. 82% within 20 minutes of the first practice session. So we're already optimal on the straights, but a bit of work to do on braking, stability, cornering and traction. We'll see what we can do to disrupt that. Probably want to move this anti-roll bar first of all. We try something like that, see where we get to.
Any feedback? It feels okay. Understood.
Okay, so Oscar reporting good, so not quite as good as where we've got Lando set up. Let's jump in, see what we can do on Oscar's car. So he's at 73%. A bit more on the rear wing there. Move these slightly. Front wing's gone too much that way though. Let's try that. That might get us in a better place with Oscar. So let's send them both back out now. Lando's back out. Let's get Oscar back out on the track as well. Fox Gaming, thanks for the follow. Let's forward this on. Let's see what feedback we get from both of these. Try and get these setups exactly where we need them to be. Always key if you can nail an early practice, as Sergio has ran wide out turn 1. We had a yellow flag momentarily there.
Sergio Perez. That's no, that's not quite what.
Only slightly wide. Nothing too serious there. I think it was actually coming out of the pit, so probably a case of cold tyres. Getting used to those as he's coming out of the pit on his run here in practice 1 in Suzuka. So Lando's done 3 out of 5 feedback. Oscar now 3 out of 5 as well. So hopefully in a couple of minutes time we shall get the full set and see where we are with setups. Good evening, Dino. How are you on this fine Tuesday? Another yellow flag there.
How's the balance? How's balance?
I'm happy.
Understood.
Lando is happy. I might just let him continue on this stint, to be fair. Just to get a bit more of the track acclimatization up.
Oscar, is the car all okay?
Feels okay for now.
So
Copy.
Oscar's still good, so we probably want to get Oscar in to do a bit of work on that car. So where are we now with Oscar? So breathe the straight a little bit. Got work to do on the front wing, so we want to jump the front wing. We're optimal on traction, so we need to bring that back. I would suggest too much on the front wing there. May lose out on the optimal now on the traction, but we'll have a look. We'll go with that. We will just swap on. Actually, I think he should be good to run those hards to the end. He may not get too much track time. Good, thanks. Carrying on the 100% win record. Oh, nice. What's the who's it in favour of now, Dino? Pocher still outscoring Oscar? I'm very well, thank you. I am very well indeed. As let's send Piastri back out. Lando has finished his stint. Right, so we're great on everything. 86%, so there's a few tweaks either way. So honestly, it could be as little as that. We'll go for that tweak, just on the front wing, because it won't take long to put that on. So let's just do that. So we can get him back out. Let's run these till the end now. Safdar Abbas, thank you for the follow. Last race for me was Spa. Chair's 9th in the scene. Piastri has 4. Okay, so Piastri's hanging in there though. Where is it mostly 1-2s you're achieving as well? Must be dominating that constructors.
It's a checkered flag.
Right, so we finished this first practice session. A couple bits of feedback on Oscar, 1 on Norris. So we will just jump straight back into second practice session. So a couple of penalties, it looks like. So maybe engines and what have you for Sainz, Russell and Alex Albon. Unfortunately, in this game, you can never see what penalty that is. But if these are 5 or 10s, then we might jump a few cars when we get to qualifying. But let's jump straight back in to this second practice session and get the feedback that we need.
Okay, so that's a green light.
This will send both Lando and Piastri out. We've also won every sprint so far. I think we have over 500 points. Wow, it's domination. Total domination, Dino. What did you say you were going to do after this season? Are you going to change teams or fresh save? New save? Let's forward this on and get the feedback that we need. So Piastri 3 out of 5 feedback. Lando now 3 out of 5 here as well. If you're jumping in new to the game, what we're looking at here is this free feedback here. So once you get 5 out of 5, then you can call them in, have a look at the car, see what the balance is like, and then you can make some setup changes. The other ones here is car parts knowledge. That's 100% because we've not run any new car parts for a while, so the drivers have 100% knowledge on the car and the parts. And this one is track acclimatization. So the longer you stay out, better track acclimatization you get. As Oscar has completed his feedback, so we'll bring him in. There was a little yellow flag there.
And then how's the balance? How's the balance?
Yeah, happy.
Let's have a look
Yep,
then.
okay.
So, optimal on straights. Don't really want to move that because that is just gonna... That's not gonna work at all. Get that there, but then we're struggling with this. Right, so that. I don't quite think that's going to be right, to be fair, but let's have a go. See where we can get to on that. Right, Norris is in, so we're optimal on straights there as well. Good on traction. Traction we really need to have a look at. Do something like this. One end to the other on this. So again, pretty tricky these setups actually in the second practice session. Trying to get them in the right window. Let's send Piastri out. We'll see how we go this next run. If we get into the 90s, we might have to just settle for that and go for the track acclimatization. Press save with team every 2 to 3 years. Have you decided what you're going to do with Piastri's second car? Yeah, I feel like I want to keep Piastri, to be fair. I mean, last few races, one, he's not had an error for a long time, as we've got a virtual safety car.
The wall. Debbie on the main straight.
Someone's in the wall.
Is everyone alright?
Valtteri Bottas has had enough. He is
Yes,
out.
everyone is okay.
Let's have a look what's happened to Valtteri. That's the mud right up his gearbox, and he's just lost it. I think it's Fernando.
That's
That is shit. That's shit. That is correct, Valtteri. So I'm not quite sure why Fernando was quite aggressive up his gearbox in a practice session, practice 2.
Delta positive.
But Valtteri lost it all on his own there, and he is out of this second practice session. As we have a virtual, we may as well keep the drivers out though. Yeah, sorry, on Oscar, I do think I'm probably going to keep him in the car. One, it just makes sense financially.
Safety car ending.
2, as I say, he's not made a mistake for a while, although, as I say, saying that, I'll probably curse him and he's going to do something in this Grand Prix. But yeah, apart from Lando, who's pretty OP, or, well, I don't know if he's OP, just Oscar isn't rated as highly as he should be really in this game. Maybe not on par with Lando, but he should definitely be closer. But yeah, where the car is, as I say, we always expect Oscar to finish about 12th to 14th, and he has been finishing in that zone pretty regularly now the last few races, so I'm tempted to stick with him. As I play on PC, I might at the end of the season just go into the editor and bump up his stats ever so slightly, not to get him near Lando, I don't think that's realistic, but just have a look, maybe get him a bit more on par of where he is in real life. I think that's where I'm swinging towards. And then we'll see. I'm hopeful that we're going to have a good second season with McLaren, and then, yeah, we'll see what I do on the third season. Might be tempted to get in that red car, the Ferrari, and get Hamilton in there and, yeah, bring 2025 to life a little bit earlier. So just waiting for a few more bits of feedback for both of these. But it's quite a pleasurable Grand Prix this weekend as well in China. Probably the best one of the year in my opinion. Quite a lot of action up and down the grid, apart from Max.
It helps when you stay on the track there.
There we go. We mentioned Oscar not making a mistake.
Right then, we can take a look.
Right on cue.
Right,
Don't think there's going to be anything too major though.
7. And wide they go, leaving the racing line.
Very wide though, but that's fine. But yeah, it was interesting in China. I'm impressed with McLaren, Lando's pace in the race, and they've got a good upgrade coming in real life in a couple of races' time. So fingers crossed that's going to make some significant gains for them and start to push them towards that Red Bull. Oh, as Lando's had a lock-up.
Let's take a closer look. Now the focus is on Lando Norris here. Oh, we've seen a few go off the track there.
On board for that one. Piastri and Lando both having a few issues there. So that Red Bull didn't look as great when it was within the dirty air. Even with Max, I know eventually he did get through, it was so expected, but
Any feedback?
Lewis helped him in that sprint with obviously running wide at the final corner, but before that it wasn't looking as much as a rocket ship, and certainly Perez found the same as well when he was caught in traffic, so yeah, if you can keep it from running out in front, you might have a chance, but it's quite difficult to do. Alright, let's cool these
How's the
in.
balance?
I don't think we've made much
It's all good. It's a cool car to
progress.
drive.
Understood.
Okay, 96. Try something like that. Other than that, we will revert. Brake cooling, Dino, is bad. Brake cooling, engine cooling is bad. So it's just what it is for this season. That's something we need to focus on next year to improve. Although we've still been pretty, although it's that bad, we've been pretty lucky with how the engine's performing in terms of durability and obviously locking up the brake cooling. We've not been too bad. So right, we are great on these. I think one more. That's going to bring the cornering down. Entire camber. Let's try that for Lando. He locked his tyres up, so they're pretty damaged. We'll have a little go on some softs. And let's send these out for the last 13 minutes of this second practice session.
Something seems wrong.
We're just checking.
I doubt the Red Bull is designed to run in dirty. No, exactly, yeah. They don't expect that Red Bull to run in dirty air, do they? So, unfortunately, it's probably some good data for them, so they'll probably soon turn that around. But as Carlos has a bit of an issue running wide.
Here we are then, reaching turn 13. Oh, and they need to be watching those track limits. And they'll...
Problem is you've got is these are the same regs for next year, but also even now they're focusing on 2026. But as this season goes on, they'll fully start to push for 2026. So
I think the tyres are done.
unless we see this grid close up to the Red Bulls by middle last part of the year, pretty sure that Red Bull's going to dominate next year as well. So hopefully these upgrades, as we get to what normally is sort of the European part, historically, when you see a lot of upgrades, maybe Imola, hopefully we see them get a little bit closer to Red Bull. That would be nice. Not, as I say, it's going to be domination pretty much nailed on for the next year and a half till we get to 2026.
Okay, buddy, that's the checkered flag.
Right, that is the second practice session done. Let's jump straight into practice 3. And go on 15 laps because we'll be too long. We'll just check these first.
Track should be green now.
Certainly an enjoyable race in China. Also got a bit feisty between the Ferraris, which was nice to see. Lance Stroll, to be fair, I will defend him because obviously he is in a championship to prove who's the worst driver on the grid between him and Logan, so he made good moves in that championship. Going straight in the back of Danny Rick. Let's forward this on. So we're looking for a couple little bits more. That screen may give you overall comparison whether you can. Yeah, no, I use both screens and I'd like to get it to about 60%, but I think we're like 39-40% without checking. So that is the plan for next year. That's going to be design work though. I'm not focusing on that for this year. Just getting the research in to make up the deficit on the reg changes. And then hopefully, before we get to Bahrain, I can sort out some of the cooling. So we're basically the same there, aren't we? I don't think we got much progress on it. So let's just... long run, get some track acclimatization up now.
Okay, Lando, need some feedback.
I'm happy.
As Pierre Gasly has had a spin on the last chicane, lighting up the rears. Closer, aren't we? We were before, though, isn't it? Let's go with that, and then need to. Pretty good in the 90% there, so no issue. Right, we're going to be on long runs now. Hopefully get that track acclimatization up. So Piastri's at 59%, Lando 63%. We're now focused on pushing that up as close to 100% as we can. Fufu McLaren, yes, we do love McLaren. We are part of that papaya family. So just letting them go on these long runs now with focus on this track acclimatization here, which is this little percentage next to the track. This shows how well the drivers are acclimatizing to the track. As Danny
now
Rick
should be able to take
has a bit of a
here,
moment.
And we're watching Daniel Ricciardo. Oh no!
Slightly wide there. So half an hour left in this final practice session, and then we'll jump into some qualifying. Yeah, we're running worn parts on these cars through the practice sessions.
How's the balance?
We have reached optimal with Oscar, so hopefully that's an improvement. Leave him out though, because we want that track acclimatization. We are going to be struggling now for car parts the rest of the year.
Feedback.
Lando, we've not improved his
Yeah.
setup, unfortunately.
Understood.
Who do you like more, Lando or Piastri? I'm a team man, so I just support McLaren. So whoever the drivers are, I support. But yeah, I like them both. Like Lando, he's a great driver. Rests really well, and then I've got a soft spot for Oscar. Like how he carries himself. I think he's going to do pretty well. Definitely improved this season as well. Oscar is getting closer to Lando. Still a bit more work to do. Seems to struggle on his tyre management, which he did struggle last year. Looked a bit better actually early this year, but it come to light again in China. Really struggled, although he did get some damage later on, didn't he? Because the stroll into Ricciardo into Piastri. He had some diffuser damage as well. So 10 minutes to go here. Getting closer 100%. But they are going to be coming in shortly because of the fuel, so we may not get quite to 100%. But 95, 96% is pretty good. So we'll take that as we're about to wrap up this practice session. Let's just have a look where we got to on the... So we got to 99% with Oscar. Lando we dropped, so we'll revert those. And we'll revert in the next screen, just so it's not needed here. Quentin, hello, how are you? Right, as we wrap up this final practice session then. Good to hear. I am very well, thank you. Very well indeed. Right, so here it is then. Not our best, especially on Lando. So track acclimatization, 97%. Car parts knowledge, 100%. Setup satisfaction, we'd like to get into the mid-90s. So a bit of a struggle there, but an overall driver prep of 94%. Oscar a little bit better, so 95% on the track acclimatization, 100% on car parts knowledge, 99% setup satisfaction. So he has a driver preparation, 98%. So we see that now coming into qualifying and the race. Lando, as I say, a driver prep of 94%. Oscar a little bit better with 98%. Love your vids. Thank you. Thank you for the support. Much appreciated.
Let's hope the teams took full advantage of practice. It's time for qualifying.
Right, let's remember on. So yeah, that's what I was actually saying. So Oscar, I think, will struggle for car parts now. We were doing all right, but he had a crack. Well, Charles Leclerc took him out in Singapore practice, which gave us some damage on these parts. So as you'll see between, I think it's, so his engine, his final engine's now at 70%, sorry. Lando, as you can see, he's got 9% on him there. I think it was this second engine that got ruined in practice. So ERS 24% and 65%. Yeah, so it's the ERS I think as well. So the gearbox 31% on that third one, where Lando is 53. So because of that accident, gave us some damage that we didn't quite want. So I don't know what we'll do. We've got, where are we now? Suzuka, so that's round, Suzuka's round 17, I think. 17. So what, we've got 18, 19, 20, 21. 6 races left, I believe. 23 race season. So yeah, it's going to be a stretch, but we don't want to spend money. So we shall see. Let's just put these parts on. What is your dream car? God, dream car. Oh, I mean, that's a bit like what's your favourite movie? There's so many. So many nice cars. Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one. That is a tough one. If I had all the money, definitely a McLaren. Definitely a McLaren would be in there. I do like muscle cars as well. Mustangs and such things. Yeah, to pick one, that would be difficult. What about yourself? What would be your dream car? Right, let me just double check I've done anything here. $76 done it for. 70% that engine is not made the season over. Yeah, that's the problem, Dino. Yeah, it's definitely not going to make it. It's just whether. Yeah, I don't know. I've never got to a point actually because I normally just purchase another. I've never got to a point where they're damaged. Does the game force you to buy another one? I'm assuming it does. If you've got none left. Assuming it just forces you to actually buy a new engine. To be fair, we've got good money actually. We're running well. But let's send these out straight away and get a lap in, shall we? But yeah, I'd like to save as much money as I can, but we could do it. It's not going to cause us issues across the cost cap.
You've got a clear track ahead.
I will run it right to death, so we'll see. We'll soon see. But yeah, if you've done it before, let me know. But if not, I'll soon see what the game says. If it allows me to do anything. Alternatively, I could just retire
Shouldn't be anyone in front that will back
Piastri
you up.
on the prior races, so it gets to the end. So in races, say 18, 19, 20, we could just retire him lap 1. But yeah, not great for Piastri's development. So here we go. Let's have a look what we do in this first qualifying session. We're looking at the sector times, but they are going to be green for both drivers because they are their first laps. They may even be purple because they're first on the track, so nothing to get excited about. Let's just see what we could set here. And then we'll see what the rest of the grid does. So Oscar's coming in at 31.4 in that first sector. And Lando's had a bit of an... Oh, what? No, 31.4, yeah, 32.1. Lando have traffic. He must have had traffic there. Ah, yes, he did. Lando has encountered a bit of traffic by the looks of that first sector. So, tell you what, we will call Lando in. Because he was a long way off there. 32.1. 7 tenths off, so... Let's bring Norris in, so we're not going to run that first lap for Lando. Let's see what Oscar posts. So 128.9.
Remember, the delta needs to be negative at the end of the lap. Okay, look after the fuel on the way in.
Only if you reach 0%, it will likely tell you this car part's missing too. Yeah, in terms of our cost cap figures, we're pretty good on that. So, as I say, we can do it. I just like to avoid it because...
Yeah, confirm Lando for lane.
Especially when Piastri's not going to be scoring any points.
Switch on to main speed limiter.
Okay, and just stop in front of our garage. Then we'll stop in front of our garage.
So trying to find a bit of free air here, which... not that easy round here. Just get Oscar ready on some sauce. So not everyone's set their times yet. Piastri is ahead of Sargent and Bottas. So that's Albon who's just set time. So we'll catch Albon. Hopefully we don't catch him at a rubbish place in this run. We are running a scrub set, but hopefully we will get some green sectors as we're now about to meet Albon. Is he going to get out of the way here nicely? It's not looking great again, is it? No. This is ridiculous now. Well, that again will be slow, I'd imagine, through there. Look too bad though, but we'll complete this lap, just see what we do here. Coming up to some more traffic, but hopefully we should reach this through the high-speed section. Although we're approaching a fierce rate of knots here, getting out of the way though, that's better for us. Yeah, I think Dino, I'm just going to run it until I get to him. I'll just run it until I can no longer run it. See what happens. Here we go, let's see what Lando posts then. Pretty good time in the end.
This is currently P7.
It moves P7, drops Oscar into the drop zone. If you are dropping into the stream, no matter the platform, please do get involved in the comments. Like the video and subscribe or follow, whatever the option is. Highly appreciated. Oscar is ready to go on those softs. Get Lando ready as well. Oh, we've got a yellow flag. We better send them out. It's just a spin.
Let's see what happened there.
Alex Albon.
That's it. That's the spin.
Losing at the final
just
chicane.
A helpless passenger.
And if that was his hot lap, that's ruined. Even if it is that lap, it's probably ruined. It's Albon into the pits now, so that's him done. Albon is done. Probably butchering this, but not Conhedo. Thanks for the follow. That is probably a butchering, but there you go. Right, let's forward this on. Let's see what we can do here. A lot of traffic, difficult through Suzuka. That fast winding section. So beautiful. One of my favourite tracks, Suzuka. A classic racetrack. We've got a fast Alpine coming through.
Good gap in front.
Oh, there we go. We'll do some blocking.
Let's
Well, we've ruined Ocon. Where are we? We've just ruined Ocon's lap. I'd imagine he's not going to improve here. No, he does not. So, was it Piastri? Yes, Piastri just absolutely wrecked Ocon's final lap. And we're in a fight with Alpine for 6th in this championship, so that's worked out pretty nicely. Right, let's hope for some green sectors then as we jump on board with Oscar. And it is green, that's what we need. Oscar's 3 tenths away from Q2 at the moment.
Okay, good job, let's check it out.
Lando not improving, but Lando may be safe. So Ocon's not gone faster. We've got the Alpha Tauris and Alpha Romeos down here, so Norris is probably relatively safe. Needing a lap from Oscar here. Second sector coming in. Let's hope for another green. And it is. Always find these sectors odd at Suzuka because you've got 2 quite long sectors and then the final one is very short. But now this last corner through the chicane, let's hope. 2 green sectors, hoping for a final green sector. Lando's gone quicker in the middle sector. Is Oscar improving? He is, but only just. Lando across the line now as well. So Lando is going to be safe. Now we've got the cars below. Piastri coming through. Piastri right on the bubble. It's about Tsunoda, I'd say. I don't think Guan Yu Zhou's going to jump us. Can Yuki Tsunoda improve enough to knock out Oscar? Or is Oscar heading into Q2 as well? No, Yuki does not improve in front of his adoring fans at Suzuka. So both Oscar and Lando through to Q2. Lando showing some pace here that he might have a chance even to get through to Q3. You'd be surprised at the state of the parts the AI run. Oh god, I know. The AI run off their own rules though. I think sometimes the amount they kill their tyres as well and still able to run them. I'm sure in one of the races we had science on like 8% tyres still banging in laps. So that is Q1 completed. Let's jump into Q2. And we'll go scrub set first. Go on a scrub set and just send them out to get a banker in.
Track should be green.
If you're jumping into this series or this stream for the first time and you're hoping for McLaren and us to be a little bit higher up, this is Season 1 and effectively very early on we have sacrificed the performance of this car to develop next year's car. So that's why we're not very high up in the grid. Lando's still battling for points on most of the races. Oscar between about 12th and 14th. But we're hoping that for next year, and as we get into that in the series, the hope is to challenge higher up the grid, hopefully for podium positions. That's the hope. We'll forward these first laps on just so we get the bankers in.
Drive to the Delta. And we box this lap, cool the car.
So Piastri about half a second off there. But as I say, we're on some
Delta
scrubs.
negative at the end of the lap.
I could recharge on and
Scrub
box this
softs
lap.
there.
Copy.
So let's get some fresh rubber on both of these boys. And pick our moment. Hello flag briefly there. Looks like someone just ran wide. Got Carlos running
But
wide.
this is what happened.
He is first
Now
at the
we're just
moment, so
proceeding through turn 4.
looks like it's cost him too
And
much.
they just can't keep on the track.
God, I don't know about wide. I think we call that corner cutting, Carlos. Cheeky. Russell's coming out now. I think this is as good as moment as any. Get these out. Have a few coming out of the pits now. Hopefully, we've got just ahead of these in terms of them starting their hot laps, so they'll start to pull away. So Piastri is out first. He's got a nice clear track at the moment. This is going to be a struggle. I'm not expecting Oscar to get into Q3. I think it might even be a struggle for Lando. It's A-Mags now coming through, and then he'll have to get out of the way. I think Piastri won't let him by, though. Lando's going to have to pass some traffic now, because those ones have got past us. Oscar will be on his way, though. So I'm just looking. Oscar looks pretty good here for a lap. Lando has got to get past a Williams of Albon. Was it K-Mag there as well, I think? Yeah. That's the only problem we've got there. Piastri, I'm just looking at the track back. Very clear track. Norris is approaching that Williams now. We're approaching both of them. This could be problematic. Williams out of the way. Haas out of the way. Did we lose much there? We're soon going to tell. Slow. So we have lost time there because this is fresh softs and that's slower than his scrub set. So looks like trouble here for us to get into Q3. Oscar has gone quicker, but he was 4 tenths off Lando as it is, so we expect him to go quicker. He's got to find half a second as it is at the moment to get through. Oscar actually out-qualified Norris for only the 2nd time in our last race in Singapore. Is he about to go back-to-back and do it again here? 2 green sectors. Hopefully Lando is going to pull a green sector out in this 2nd sector. He is not.
Okay, that's the checkered
He
flag.
is not,
Wow.
so game over, I'd say, for Lando, unless he's going to find something special in this final sector. Here we go, Oscar across the line here then, and Lando, sorry. So Oscar didn't go quicker, did he? I was confused there. Oscar's already crossed the line. So no, Oscar not improving enough either. Or Lando. So in the end, very much disappointing. But Oscar was going quicker. He did improve because he was 4 tenths off Lando, but only by a couple of tenths. Lando, if he would have got a quicker lap in there, I think he could have made this, because look, we've got Albon and there's Hamilton still on a hot lap. We are fighting with Gasly and Ocon, so if Ocon's staying down there, that would be nice. Yeah, he's not going quicker, so Ocon is going to qualify in 14th. Hamilton checkered flag now, he's in, so Gasly's bumped down as well. So our competitors are the Alpines, so we've beaten one of them, and we've only got Sargent between ourselves and Gasly. So all in all, disappointing that we don't get through to Q3, but pretty happy that we're still in competition with the Alpines for 6th place in the Constructors. So confirmation there, Oscar Piastri will start the Grand Prix. Well, he qualifies in 15th. Lando Norris qualifies in 13th. May not start the Grand Prix there, because of course there are drivers taking grid penalties. As we can see, there's 3 ahead of us, so we may be starting up a lot higher. So we've got Carlos Sainz, Russell and Albon all taking penalties. And that will be it. So we may bump up a little bit, but let's see what happened in Q3. And what a surprise. Mr. Inevitable is on pole. Max Verstappen leads a Noah's Ark here. We've got 2 by 2. We've got 2 Red Bulls, 2 Aston Martins, 2 Ferraris, 2 Mercedes. So Max on pole, followed by Perez. Then you've got Alonso, Stroll, Sainz, well, he will be relegated, and Charles Leclerc in 6th. Russell in 7th, but he's also got a grid penalty. Hamilton in 8th. Albon in 9th, but also running a grid penalty. A-Mag in 10th for Haas, who are consistently starting to get a few points here. And they're in a battle with Williams for 8th place in the Constructors. So let's continue here.
Well, there's nothing quite like...
Alright, just wanted to see where we are actually going to start. So we have bumped up quite a bit there. So I think it was 13th and 15th. So all 3 of those, Sainz, Russell and Albon, I think it is, has dropped below us. So it must have been 10 place grid penalties for them. So we will actually start the Japanese Grand Prix in Suzuka in 10th with Lando and 12th with Oscar. But Albon, I don't know if he'll be able to make it free. We definitely expect those... certainly Sainz in the Ferrari. Russell, again, he may have some problems coming through. That Mercedes is not very pacey on this game at the moment. So it'll be interesting to see. What I'm going to do is just drop a save in here. And if you're jumping into this series for the first time, we're closing this stream off now. We do stream this on a Tuesday and Friday around about 7:15 GMT time. So on Friday, we will be back and we will carry on with this in terms of the race. So on Friday, we'll be jumping into the Japanese Grand Prix and the race in Suzuka. If you've jumped in, please do subscribe or follow, like the video. And yeah, please do return on Friday at around 7:15 GMT time as we take on Suzuka. Maybe continue our points run with Lando Norris and see what we can also do with Oscar. Until then, we shall see you, hopefully, very soon.